What's going on? Today we'll be talking about not being mean to people that don't know any better. So, a lot of the times, like when we're having conversations all throughout our lives, like we might get into situations where we're dealing with somebody that doesn't know something that you might very well know a lot about. Whether it's something in your career, whether it's something that you do as a hobby, or just something that you have, taken the time and energy to do some sort of deep dive into. So it's something that you know, and then somebody ignorant comes up to you and spews out uh, their false justifications for why you're wrong and they're right, or their narratives around the topic, and just the fact that there can only really be one answer. So you try to explain that to that person. And a lot of the times you want to just be like, yo, you're wrong. You're freaking wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. You're the stupid one. And we get extra aggressive. We say things that aren't the nicest, and we do it because they're trying to spite us. Like they have come into our bubble they're come into our bubble, and they have said something to us that offends us because it's something that we have done all this research on, have taken the time to really experience and just understand it better. So instead of being mean to that ignorant person, to the person that doesn't know any better, why don't you try to explain and let them know why exactly they're wrong? And if they don't like it, then they don't like it, but at least they have more insight on that information, so that maybe one day they'll be like, well, if it didn't make sense to me right now, or if it didn't make sense to them right now, maybe it'll make sense to them later. And you can walk away like, okay, I at least try to explain it to them. They may have not gotten it, but I at least try to explain it to them. And so I think both parties leave with, okay, that one party might be like, maybe I was wrong about that, and they put that into question. Whereas you already know because you've done all the research, you know the topic, so there's no reason for you to be on the defensive side of that. All you're trying to do is explain the topic better to that person, and I think it leaves everybody in a better space. Whereas if you're bitter about something and you're like, wow, this guy thinks he knows what he's talking about, this girl thinks she knows what she's talking about, she has no idea, she's not a part of this, she's not a part of that, it gets you angry. And there's no point of being angry about somebody else's actions when it has to do with information, like, and especially information that you know for a fact. Now, if that information is false and you try to correct them, a lot of times when we're yelling at people about things that they don't understand and they have this false narrative, if they're being yelled at, then they might start turning up their volume as well. And it could create a heated conversation. Whereas if they come in with their ignorant statements of, oh, this is right, this is right, this is here, this is what this is, you can shut that down by giving examples in a calm manner. Like, okay, well, like say somebody had an idea of the kind of job that you had, but you know exactly what you do. You know exactly what you do, so it can be very easy for you to break this person down and make them feel stupid. But instead, it should be an education. It should be an opportunity for you to educate them in that. Because if they're interested in asking you about your job, then you should be well you should be well within your right to explain your job, especially if there's some miscommunication about it. Because if somebody comes up to you and they're like, "You do this," it's not them trying to be rude. It's probably them just trying to clarify. So you letting them know, okay, well, I don't do that, but I do something like that, and this is really what I do. That way, there's no more mix-ups, and nobody feels stupid. that's really what you want to get out of it. Just not trying to make people not trying to make people feel stupid for asking questions or for making false statements, because we all make false statements all the time that we just don't understand, or we don't know that we don't understand yet. So to be a good person, to be that guy that's like, or that girl that's like, oh, let me not be that person. Let me not just scold this person because they've said something that is incorrect about something that I know a lot about. Because it doesn't help anybody else out. But yeah, that's a video on not being mean to people just because they don't understand something. Or don't be mean to people that don't know more than you. Or don't be mean to people that are less informed than you are. Peace. Have a good day.